Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at the bulk listing editor app for Etsy. This app is a great tool that allows you to modify your Etsy listings as well as your Etsy variations in bulk. If you have an Etsy shop with a few listings, you will quickly realize that making bulk updates to your listings becomes very time consuming. The Etsy platform does provide some basic tools for making bulk changes, but these are very limited. This app makes up for that and provides you with an intuitive yet powerful interface for modifying your listings quickly and efficiently. After connecting your Etsy shop to your app, you can start loading your Etsy listings into the app. Loading the listings means that the app will download all the listing information so that you can start searching and updating them. Depending on how many listings your shop has, this process can be more or less long, so be patient while the listings are fully loaded. Alright, so the interface has now loaded and you can see that it has a simple step-by-step process. First, you need to select the editing mode. You can either make updates to listings or to variations. A listing is basically a product in your Etsy shop. A variation, on the other hand, is a specific color or size of a listing. Let's see an example of that. Here we have a listing that has two options, a size option and a color option. The listing has a total of 9 variations, since a variation is a combination of size and color under that listing. Great, now let's go back to the app. The next step of the process is to search for the listings or variations we want to modify. You can type in the keywords you want to search for here. Let's search for poster vintage. The app will look through all the listings that were previously loaded and show us the listings that match our criteria. You can note that it will match for listings that match either the word poster or the word vintage. In this case, it also found vintage shoes. If you want to modify the listings that match both keywords at the same time, you need to tick this narrow search box. Let's click on the search button again, and you can see that now only the listings that match both keywords are shown. You can further narrow the search by specifying the price range and the listing status, so whether the listing is active, inactive, draft, or more. Now that we have the search results that match our criteria, we can select specific listings we want to update among these results. For that, we can click on the plus buttons here. Most of the time, you may want to select all the listings directly. You can do that with this button right here. So now we have a list of listings that we have selected and we can start making our updates. You can either delete or modify in our listing. In our case, we want to modify the listings. Then we can select which field we want to modify. There's a wide variety of fields you can choose from, such as the price. You can either set a new price or specify an increase or decrease in dollar amounts or even in percentage increase. You can modify the title field. You can insert words after or before the title. You can set a new value for the title or even do a search and replace. The same options are available for the description field. You can add and remove tags from the product. You can modify the inventory, and then you can add variations to your listings. So let's say you want to add a new color for our posters. You can select which option you want to extend. In our case, we want to add a new color, and that is the second option. So we select option 2. We type in the variation name. In our case, it's going to be gold. And then we can set the price, quantity, SKU, and even enable or disable this variant. If you set them to auto, the app will attempt to set the correct amount based on the other variations. When you are ready to make the bulk update, you can click on the bulk update button here to proceed. The listings will get updated one by one, just like that. If we take a look at our updated poster, we can notice that it now has new variations for the color gold. You can also notice that the price was correctly set for the different variations depending on the price of the other variations. Since this product has 3 sizes, 3 variations were added for the gold color. So for the 16-inch, 18-inch, and 20-inch posters. Let's see the other modifications we can make with the app. there is the Add Variation option field, which allows you to add a new option to your listings. Let's say you already have a listing that has only one option, which is the size option, and you want to offer them in different colors. You can use this to add a color option and set the variation to red. If you want to add more colors, you can go back to the Add Variations field to add more colors. The difference between the two is that Add Variation option allows you to add a whole option, while the Add Variations allow you to add a specific value for a given option. Note that Etsy only allows you having a maximum of 2 options per listing. We then have the Remove Variation option field, which allows you to remove a whole option from a listing. You can modify the materials of a listing, the SKU, but also upload new images for the listing. You can even remove or reorder the images. Then we have the Enable Personalization settings such as the instruction field and more, and finally a few more fields that are self-explanatory. Now if you want to use the variation editing mode, the process is very similar with a few differences. We can search for the variations we want to modify, and here in the list, it's not listings that are shown, but specific variations for those listings. Let's say we want to increase the price for the 20-inch posters. We can type poster vintage 20-inch, and we can see that only the specific variations that match this criteria are displayed. We can select them like this, and like before, we can apply changes to those variations. The options are a bit different though here. So since a variation is only a specific version of a product, the only fields you can set here are the price, the inventory, SKU, whether the variation is enabled or not, or even the variation name. So let's increase the price of the variations. So we can increase the price by $5, which means that the new variations will be $55, and we can click on the bulk update again. Perfect. You can also decide to delete these variations. If you want to only provide the 16 and 18-inch variations for these products, you can delete the 20-inch variations. Perfect, we have now completed this tutorial. You should be able to use the app at its fullest, and it will certainly save you precious time when making updates to your Etsy listings. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us, and happy editing!